Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle Johnstone. I am the General Manager of Business Intelligence Solutions. I'm a strategist and an AI expert, and I've consulted for companies for over 2 decades with both data analytics and AI. What I've noticed that is most companies have issues around data clarity, around data quality, as well as data unification. So the idea basically is we need to get the data together, get it organized, and get it into a usable format. We'll talk more about that in a minute. In addition, I've done over 500 projects, transformation projects, app dev projects, custom development projects, etc. I've built scalable solutions that have driven 10x ROI across most industry and job functions. But let's get right to the point. What we want to do at the end of the day is build a solution, whether it's with alerts or dashboards or unifying our data into a centralized location. The bottom line is that there are three things that we want to make sure that we incorporate. One is and the top reason for doing anything is value. The second thing is security. And the last thing is safety. We want to make sure the solutions we build are safe and they don't go off the rails. Then we want to look at how do we go to market? So what we want to do from a market perspective is a couple different things. One is we want to anchor our AI to a business problem, not just an idea. A business problem that we've gone through maybe a design thinking methodology in order to identify exactly what those pain points are or where the value is. The thing you have to realize is that AI is not a magical thing. It's not something that's going to take over the world. And you do have to make sure that it's programmed and tuned to the problem you're trying to solve. And the real key to this, whether it's predictive or creating large language models, is to be able to identify what that problem is up front. And then the second piece of that is test it. Test the data that you have or the data that you're going to enrich what you have with. You don't want to get down the road on an AI project and at the end, after spending a lot of money, determine that it's just not going to work. So we want to determine that up front. And business intelligence solutions, that's what we do, is we spend a lot of time up front to make sure that we have the premise and that we can prove out from a proof of concept perspective. And the idea is that we want to get that 10x return on investment year over year. I mean, you want to have that continuation and have that residual value continuing. The second thing is that we want to use frameworks to accelerate. And at Business Intelligence Solutions, we have pre-built algorithms, we have pre-built LLMs that we can plug into an overall solution and configure it for your needs. So the idea is to get to market much more quickly. And the way we do that is by leveraging our technical partners to deliver those solutions. So let me give you a practical example. I'm actually on the side, I'm a high performance drive instructor. I help race car drivers improve their speed and their quickness around a racetrack. But there's something that we said that speed isn't everything. It's technique, it's polish, it's knowing exactly where to be in a corner. Entry speed and exit speed becomes a big deal. So speed is necessary, but agility is what wins the game. And so how we do that at BIS is we leverage our accelerators and pre-built models that give you that head start. But we also have a pre-built formula that we can train you and your team, as well as the data, to be able to handle those different curves and corners that come at it. So just like a race car, we want a fast foundation, but we want to tune it for what you're trying to do. So and the third thing that we want to talk about is operationalize early. So the idea is most AI projects fail not in design, but in deployment. However, the premise is so important in testing that up front. What we want to do is make sure that that's correct. But then what we want to do is take it to another level of embedding that AI into your workflows and systems and daily decisions. One of the things that we've done is, we helped a client plug our lead scoring AI into Salesforce. So for example, in a short period of time, we were able to scrape LinkedIn and Google, et cetera, and we were able to put that into a large language model. And then when someone enters in Salesforce, we've used AI to summarize that data based on their configuration. So determining what's going on at what client. So imagine if you open up your Salesforce and you can hover over one of your accounts and it pops up all the relevant information that has been released in the last few weeks of that account, and it's been summarized into the relevant data that matches your product or service. So that's just one example where then I can have my Salesforce reduce the amount of time they're doing researching and spend more time on the phone selling to targeted accounts that we know have activity. So that's the idea of leveraging AI to actually increase your work productivity and drive more value. In that particular case, we were able to drive more than 40% more sales. And if you think of a project that costs not even a fraction of that, it makes total sense. It's a no-brainer. Number 4 is basically we want to equip the people, not just the platform. So the idea here is that we want to make sure that not only have we trained the models, just like in analytics or data, if you don't know the context, it's just not going to work for you. So we want to make sure that the data can be trusted, it's got good quality, and that it can also be relied upon. And that way you get a much better user adoption. And this is why the education and transparency, change management, and all the processes that go along that is very important. So at the bottom line is we want to empower your people to be better at what they do by eliminating some of these mundane tasks like research, looking through knowledge bases, etc. If we can turn the value of what they're doing for a sale, like the Salesforce example, if we can turn that into actionable items and have them increase their sales book, then it's a win. But this can be applied in just about any manual or where there is a lot of research or manual things that are going on to look up data or find data. We can employ other techniques like natural language query, where I can have a unified data lake where I can just query what's going on. I just need to know what's going on in my company. So in the end, those are 4 good points. But if you're serious about taking an AI to the market, think beyond the model. Focus on the premise. Spend time testing, train your people, integrate your data. We need to test the data and make sure that everybody's empowered to do what they need to do. So, what we like to do is say, let's just not build an AI solution because it's a cool idea. Let's build an AI solution that actually delivers value and empowers your people to be better than what they are. So in the end, what our mantra is, together we can build a smarter and safer world.